I'm Little Stink Stink, the turd of time from Twitter of time. Let's meet the Todders! Today we are talking to the amazing and wonderful, internet famous T. Reese 381. Hi, Reese!
Hi, Little Stink Stink. How's it going?
It's going great. You are internet famous because your reaction video was seen around the world.
It was in at least 6 countries.
It was a great reaction video.
Thank you. I'm really good at reacting to things.
Let's go ahead and jump right in. Question. When did you discover Twitter of Time?
Okay, so I found Twitter of Time when I found out they were making the TV show. They made the announcement, and I just needed more information, so I just looked everywhere and found Twitter, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then very shortly after that, I ended up finding a lot of the YouTube videos and the content creators and all of that, and kind of getting more into it. So I have been kind of like lurking, just watching everything happen. I talk in chats and stuff, but nothing really until JordanCon is when I got FOMOCon and started participating more.
Okay, so that was pretty recently, just a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been lurking since you found out about the show a couple of years ago?
Yep, I've just been watching all of you.
Enjoying seeing your favorite characters interacting with each other?
Oh yeah, it's so fun. I mean, everybody just staying in character, and the responses, Dane roasting everybody. I mean, come on. What's not to love?
Yeah. He plays being a Dane hole perfectly. Question. What are some of your favorite things about Twitter of Time?
I love how positive it is. Every now and then you get some like negative commenter that's kind of like external commenting on somebody in Twitter of Time, and it blows up for a little bit, but most of the time it's all just supportive and real open. It's a really great community, which I feel like is rare for social media.
Right?
But it's like, usually I try to stay away from this kind of stuff, but here it's like I get stressed out at work, and I'm like, I wonder what Twitter of Time is doing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people use it for the same thing. It's our little haven out there.
Yeah, it really is. It's a really great fandom, and I'm happy to have found it.
Question. Do you have any favorite memories with people in Twitter of Time?
I think some of the early stuff when Reef started Wheel of Time Wednesday, and tweets from the writers' room, that those real early like shots of the whiteboards and the empty rooms and all of that, just like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And there was so much interaction, it just felt like you were part of it while it was getting started, and I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Cool.
Yeah. And then now seeing like where it is now, like when not Twitter, but Amazon kind of took over Wednesday, and just like seeing where it is now, it's like, oh man, this is cool. Like, it's grown a lot in the past couple of years. So
yeah, it really has.
But some of those early show things were really neat. That interaction was really cool.
It must have felt like you were really taking part in building up the show.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of did, but I mean, kind of.
I think somewhere in the writer's room, they were like, hey, there's that post by Reese. We should really take this into consideration.
They're like, that girl liked our post, so like,
yeah,
we gotta put this in the show now. Yeah. So.
See, exactly. They're gonna credit everyone in Twitter of Time. Question. When did you discover the Wheel of Time?
I started reading Wheel of Time in 2010, and it kind of took me until I was waiting for Memory of Light to come out.
Yeah.
So it was like I wasn't ready for, I think 13 and 14, 12 came out right after I started. And so it was like, I wasn't ready for it yet. And then, but by the time I had finished what was out, it was like not very long before Memory of Light came out.
Okay.
And I started reading it. One of my friends had introduced me to it, and they actually hadn't finished the series. They caught up with where they had been released at that time, and then never kept reading when they would come out. They meant to.
Really?
They just didn't get to. So they were like, don't finish without me. Don't finish without me. And I was like, okay. And then when it became clear that they were not going to finish, I was like, well, I'm going to finish without you. So
yeah, that's a big ask. So you got a little bit of the anticipation of waiting for the book to come out.
Yeah, I got the tail end of it, the last little bit. I feel like there has to be like, some type of pride in being there from the beginning, though, just like from when all the books are being released. Oh, yeah. Gosh, that's got to be so cool. But, I was actually thinking not too long ago about how there's like a whole bunch of people who have just recently found the Wheel of Time and just finished it not very long ago, and it's so easy to be like, oh well, I finished it. But this is what I was thinking though. No, like if you finished Wheel of Time, you went through something. Yeah. And we all went through that something. It doesn't matter how long ago you went through it or how recently you went through something. Come here.
You are exactly.
Come here.
Right. It's literally like a support group. You finished, you're on the other side. Welcome to the family.
We got blankets and water bottles. We'll take care of you.
When you're ready for your reread, it'll be okay. Question: what are some of your favorite things about the Wheel of Time?
I always liked that it feels like it takes place in the past, but it technically takes place in the future. I just always was fascinated with that. Like, is it ahead? Is it behind? Just kind of both.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so neat. Like there are little pieces in there where it's like, no, that's us. That's what we're doing now. What is happening? And then other things where it's like, no, we can't do that with our minds. We can't do that. So that's got to be future then, right? But I always thought that was neat, where it's like, it is kind of that like sci-fi fantasy. Like it's not just fantasy because you've got that future-ish element to it. And it's, I always liked that. I thought that was so cool.
Question: who are some of your favorite characters from the Wheel of Time?
I always liked Eludra.
Oh,
she's on fire.
Literally. Yes.
I mean, our main people are pretty obvious. I really like, all of their journeys, but no, I really hate pronunciations of names, so I'm probably going to butcher things here, but Egwene, I love her story, like how she starts out like, yeah, I want to go on an adventure, and then like by the end of it, like she does become legend, man. Yes. Like everything she went through, and they knock her down, she gets back up. They knock her down, she gets back up. And in the books, the age that she's supposed to be, it's like, nah, I would have tapped out if that was me at that age. Like, no, I'd have a hard time doing it now.
Right?
And she does it. It's like, okay, I got to get a little of that in me. Let's go.
Yeah. Are you excited for the casting that's filled that role?
I am. I'm really excited. Like that's when I saw her, that Myths Become Legend, coming out of the pool, like seeing Madeline Madden playing that role, you can very clearly visualize the rest of the story. It's so much easier to picture now. And it's like, we've had the cast for a while, but just seeing them in the Two Rivers, in the costumes, their braids, all of it. It's real. It's tangible. I was watching the trailer during my lunch break today, like it was a TV show. I just keep replaying it. I'm like, I wonder if there's anything else I missed.
Is there anything else you missed?
Actually, today I noticed that at the very end, when the logo comes up and it spreads out to Wheel of Time, like mist or wind kind of fluffs off.
Really?
Fluffs off, probably not the best term, but floats off.
Really?
Yeah, I hadn't noticed it before, but it's like as it comes out, it's like.
Okay, I'm going to need to go back and check that.
I know. I was like, oh, maybe I did catch something new.
Question: what characters do you think you resemble the most?
I don't know. I never really pictured myself as any character.
This is supposed to be one of those make you think questions that I threw in there.
Well, success. Because I don't know.
I could see you as Ludra.
Yeah, I feel like that fits.
Matt coming up to you to be like, hey, and you'd be like, don't even bother today.
No. Don't do that.
I'm busy.
Just like snap a lighter in his face. Back.
Question: where in the Wheel of Time world would you like to visit the most?
I don't know. I feel okay, so I'm on my reread right now. And this is actually my first reread. So my memories of everything are terrible. Terrible.
Wait. Hold the presses.
I know.
You're
gonna want to, what? You're gonna want to leave this part in the video. I can just tell. But like,
maybe breaking news.
Damn it.
Okay, so I'm guessing you finished Memory of Light right after it was released.
Pretty shortly, yeah. Yeah. So it's been a hot minute.
But to be fair, after finishing Memory of Light, everyone has to deal with the emotional impact of that. So I don't blame you for needing time to process that.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
But I just need to adjust my views of you a little bit. Okay, I'm ready.
Fine.
So what book are you on?
I'm on 4. I stalled out. I was doing really well. I actually blame Twitter of time. I'm on it too much.
I'm just not going to say anything to that. Are you doing audio or?
I'm doing ebooks on my phone, and I think that's part of why it's taking so long. Because I pick up my phone to read, and then I'm like, oh, notifications, and then I don't end up reading. I've thought about audiobooks, but I know that I would only listen to them in the car. And I have a lot of road rage, so I know that I wouldn't actually listen to them if they're playing.
Okay, that's fair.
So, yeah. I was actually thinking of doing what North Harbor podcast is doing. And starting from the back. Because what keeps happening is I will start reading, and a scene will remind me of a future scene, and I will start daydreaming about the future scene and miss what I'm actually reading, and then have to go back. And it's like I kind of want to just jump ahead and read that scene. It's like I already read it once. I don't have to, worry about spoiling anything. But at the same time, I don't want to like re-spoil anything because I forgot so much.
You have a future scene that you are most tempted to jump ahead to?
I mean, the last battle. I just want to get there. I keep like, I'll see somebody's post and I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot that happened. And it's like, oh, I totally forgot that happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, part of me wants to go and read it all right now, and the other part is like, no, I want to build up to it. Like, I don't want to jump ahead.
Yeah. You need
But I
that.
want to jump ahead.
Yeah.
I am undecided.
Question. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
Take a look.
Reese, that's your puppy.
That's Ava. She's a doggy.
We see Ava in chibi form, but this is Ava in real form.
This is Avaville. Get me out of
Ava.
here. Okay.
It has been so good hearing from you, Reese, and thank you for being on my show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Twitter of time. Make sure you follow at TReese381 and check out her YouTube for her amazing reaction video if you are one of the few people on the planet who haven't seen it yet. And tune in next time. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and check my pin tweet for details on how you can be on Meet the Todders.